G'day guys, Jeff here from the Garage Network. I don't know if anybody saw, I had a bit of a chat and a poll regarding testing GDI injectors because I seem to get asked by so many different customers around Sydney who to test them, do you trust testing and things like that. So Ben from Mant Auto Equipment, he saw the post and he gave me a call and he said, do I want to see how GDI injectors should be tested using quality test equipment. Obviously I jumped at the chance, any learning or looking at new tools and things like that I'm always up for. So big thanks to Ben. He's going to give me a run through on so what's this machine?
This one's the GS8, which is a standard injector test bench up to 10 bar, which the capabilities of testing the GDI. So Jeff's bought a set of Hyundai GDI injectors up to run on that one, and then behind Jeff there we've got the GD1RX, which is a specific GDI injector test bench with capabilities. It has the capabilities up to 450 bar. That one, I think these injectors will run up to around 290 odd bar on the machine through its machine's test plan.
Arm's not long enough.
Our minimum and our maximum, what we want to be between. So millimetres cube per stroke between 100 and 113, only a fine tolerance, and that one's spot on. So blue is perfect. Now we switch over to 2,500 strokes, 100 bar, 1,400 microseconds, and we've got between 26.8 and 33.7 millimetres cube per stroke is our range to be within, and we're right at the top border here, right on the limits of the spec. Starting to tip over, and red has failed that test. So 34, so we're only 0.3 millimetres cube per stroke over in that test, and it's failed. Welcome to the GD1RX carbon Zapp machine for GDI injector testing. Machine is capable of up to 450 bar. This injector I think was 270, 280 I think, as one of its tests. So we enter the injector number 35310-2G710, this one, which is a Hyundai GDI. Okay, max pressure 290, that's in bar. Okay, let's hit start. Enter our customer's details, which we're going to continue. Serial number, this is injector number 3, so we're just going to put in injector 3. Okay, we are going to skip the leak test. Okay, now here's our list of tests. So we've got an electrical test, a leak test, nozzle leak test, 4 volume tests, 1 response time test, which is between signal being received by the injector to nozzle responding, and low pressure test. So for the sake of the video we're going to do all of them. Start. So electrical test to start with, so we're looking for inductance, microhenry, and resistance readings to be within spec. So the results are showing blue, which is perfect, green, which is good, and a red is fail. Blue is good, green is good. Pass, pass. Onto the leak test. So we're measuring any discharge that shouldn't be coming out under pressure. So there's 150 bar pressure. And so far discharge is on 0.0. That grey area is 0.0. If it stays there, we'll get a pass. Okay, blue is good. On to the next test. Okay, volume metering, injector volume metering. We've got a warm-up phase to start with while the injector warms up. Operating temperature, pressure being built. You notice it's automatic, Jeff, so starting the machine we can walk away and come back and once the tests are finished and just check our results and then hook up the next injector. So the time at the machine is only minimal.
Yeah.
Important to simulate operating conditions here before it goes into the volume tests.
So this was one of the questions brought up on the garage network on how people test injectors in the car and prefer to test them in the car because they've got the running conditions of the vehicle, whereas this machine is recreating that.
Yeah. There's arguments either way, I suppose. Up to the individual, but definitely this machine is designed to reproduce that operating condition. So all these particular tests are the manufacturer's test plans or test specifications that the injector has to meet before being given a pass or allowed to be sold or put on a vehicle. You see the tolerances are very fine really in what they are measuring here. So what we're looking at here on screen is, okay, we're now gone into the first test. Okay, this is at 1,000 strokes, 150 bar pressure, 4,250 microsecond duration, and we've only got an average of between 100 and 113 millimeters cubed per stroke discharge. So we're measuring that per stroke over a period of time. So this is, the grey area there is pretty good, so that's going to come up blue, I would say. See it floating around a little bit. Okay, and we've got a blue result. So perfect blue result. Good pass for that one. So on to the next test, 2,500 strokes, 100 bar, 1,400 microseconds. Okay, we've got between 26.8 and 33.7 millimeters cubed per stroke. So it's only a small little window, and we're looking pretty good. Okay, good enough to be green. So not good enough to be blue, but good enough to be green. So that's a pass. On to the third volume test. 2,500 strokes, 60 bar, 3,150 microsecond duration. pass. This injector's looking pretty good so far. 100 bar this time. Another green pass. Okay, response time. So time it's taking for the nozzle to respond. So 310 microsecond to 410 microseconds. So it's only, you imagine if you've got a bit of friction inside, it's going to be a lot slower to open to close. Okay, blue, perfect. And the low pressure test. Do you want to create? So we've got all ticks. So this injector's a passable injector. Let's create a report on the injector. What were we up to? Number 3, I think this was.
Yeah, number 3.
Injector 3, okay. Okay, so there's our results there. Green, blue, blue. If we had any reds and crosses, obviously we've got a failed injector. But this one is good to put back in the car after baskets and seals.
Perfect.
Okay, the result is saved. We can print that wirelessly or we put it onto a USB. So same injectors, GDI, Hyundai injectors hooked up to the GS8 machine, which is a 10 bar maximum pressure machine. So what we're going to do here is just compare testing on this bench after putting on the GDI. So just follow through. We're just going to do an automatic test on the GDI. Top feed, 4 injectors. We'll just do the default test for the sake of the exercise. Automatically progress. Okay, we've fit the injectors to the test rail. I'll plug them in. Coil test first. These are resistances.
So this just runs for everything now without?
Yeah, so it'll just prompt us through automatically. So, okay, now we move on to the bench flow. Drain the tubes, they're already drained. Let's just stop the drain, start the bench flow. Straight up near 10 bar.
And the pressure on this machine was 200 and...
Yeah, so the first machine was up to... So the pressure on the machine's up to 450 bar, but the tests were up to, I think, 290 bar was one of the tests on this injector. Whereas we're doing all this, maximum the machine can do is 10 bar, so we're doing all the testing on 10 bar just to compare the difference.
Looks like a 4x in each in each test tube.
Okay, so I'll just stop the drain before it drains. So we're at about 20 mils on each. It's pretty close. Okay, and it will, after draining, move through to the next test, 60 seconds worth, 2200 RPM, 4.8 milliseconds at 10 bar. Okay, so I just stopped the drain there, we'll just let it settle a little bit. So we're looking at about 45 mils, 45 mils, 45 mils and 47 mils. So on the first one, so you remember on the first machine we had one of the tests fail, which was excessive flow, excessive discharge.
Yeah.
And it was only a very, very fraction. So you could almost say on the same machine, on this machine here, if you're looking at a comparison between the two, we're looking at a difference in the amount flowed. It's a fraction more than the other three cylinders, the other three injectors.
It's really close, isn't it? Would you pick up on that as a normal test if we didn't know that cylinder failed?
Probably not. You'd have to have a good eye, I would say, and know what to expect, what the tolerances would be.
Yeah.
The more we start to flow, it starts to increase the difference a little bit. So we are starting to see, now that we didn't drain it the last time, we are starting to see a bit more of a difference there now. Okay, so we've gone over the scale on number 1, which was our dodgy injector. Number 2, 3 and 4 are about 125 to 127.
Interesting.
So yeah, you could pick it if you had a good eye for it. The spray pattern looks very similar, though you definitely couldn't pick it on pattern.
Yeah. And what's the next one?
So this is a continuous spray test.
Sounds really good, the machine, you know. It doesn't sound like it's got a box of nuts and bolts in the back of it, you know. It's
Yeah, no, they're a very good machine.
and kind of all the same, apart from a bit of head on 3 and 4 there. Bit of froth.
Yeah, and then we obviously on this machine we can move on to the ultrasonic bath, the backleak, reverse flush, and retest. But yeah, just an example.
And the other machine, the GD1, that does have a backleak kit.
It
as well,
does, yeah.
it?
That does have a backleak option for that, and ultrasonic bath option as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can do your servicing the same way on either machine. this one's just cycling through RPM, just simulating engine conditions where it's varying over a minute. I think these injectors, what did you say they're off? A Hyundai
IX35.
IX35 and new model?
14?
14, thereabouts, yeah. Couple 100,000 Ks worth.
Yeah. Can we stop that draining?
So I'll stop it as soon as it starts.
Is this the last test as well?
That's the last test, yes, that'll prompt us for the next. So again, over engine conditions, you've got a slight, it's not much, but it is slight, I suppose, difference. Very hard to pick. A lot of people look at that and just...
Even so, 2 looks a bit lower than 1, 3 and 4. Or am I? Let me check the camera, there might be people shouting at me.
You're right, 65, 70, yeah. They're close enough to...
Oh, what's it doing now?
Well, we didn't drain it, so I'm going to stop it there and just drain it out, and then we can start our next test. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, if we didn't know that there was an issue with cylinder 1 on the higher pressure machine, you'd
flat
potentially
out picking that, I would think. Yeah. The idea is just to show you the differences, different ways of testing. You know, this is a great universal bench doing low pressure injectors, but you can test your GDI injectors on there up to that 10 bar test, and you will get a lot of issues determined in that 10 bar range. But realistically, a GDI injector, through its test conditions or test plans provided from the manufacturer, does go up to 300 odd bar or more now. And that's where the other machine comes into it, to be able to put you through its whole range and really, in fine detail, give you that pass-fail result.
So I guess I'd like to thank Ben for giving us a run-through on the Carbon Zapp GDI machines. I've certainly never seen GDI injectors being tested to that extent before. Going from the 10 bar machine to the machine that's capable of 450 bar, kind of showed a bit of a difference in what you can see in accuracy, in my opinion. I don't know if that's the incorrect way to say it, but I was impressed, and I'd just like to thank Ben for inviting us and letting us capture it on video. So if you've never seen a GDI injector being tested, you have now. Have you anything to add, Ben?
Yeah, no, well, thanks Jeff, thanks for bringing the injectors along, and it was just a quick comparison on a test on a 10 bar machine as far as comparative volume flows, and then across to the GD1 RX, which is testing those injectors as per the manufacturer's test plans, which is far more critical and smaller sort of tolerances, and we're able to definitively fail that particular injector that we saw. I think it was number 1, which...
So, yes, cylinder 1 straight away, all the other 3 injectors were perfect. So that customer's now got a piece of paper he can show to his customer, and we can move from there. We can repair, replace. I dare say some injectors are a bit cheaper than others to repair or replace, but he's got that answer. He's about to replace an engine on a car. He's going to put a reconditioned engine in. He wants to make sure 100% that car's right for the customer. So with the information that he's now got, he can make that call.
Yeah.
So
just reminded me, I'll grab those injector results and give you the file so you can include them in the video.
Yeah, I'll pop them on the video. More editing. I love editing. It's my favourite thing in the world. Sorry, Ben. I'm only joking. So, well, thanks again, Ben. As I say, anything we can ever do, and we'll come down and we'll make some more videos. And it's
sounds good. Thanks for coming along, and I hope you all enjoyed.
Perfect. Cheers, guys.